You're listening to the Long Game Podcast. I'm your host, Sandra Scaiano. I want to talk about offers today. I am hearing people struggle with what to offer and seeing so many entrepreneurs reinventing themselves each season with brand new offers. I've been thinking a lot about this lately as it's one of the major contributors to overwhelm. I'm doing this over here and that over there. How can I keep it all together? Within the past year, I've worked to streamline my own offers, and in doing so, it has allowed me to scale my business up one more step. So let's talk about what streamlining is, why we should all be doing this, and what are some tangible examples of how we can do this. The long game is streamlining your offers. You're listening to the Long Game Podcast with Sandra Scaiano. In a world where everyone is doing, it's easy to get lost in a sea of comparison, secret tricks, and promises of overnight success. The long game is my approach to business. The actual day in and day out philosophy that you have to show up, you have to do the work, and there's no quick fixes for long-term success. I'm a web designer, digital strategist, and energetic thinker, and I'm here to share the process and lessons I experience with my clients daily who are going through the same struggles of building a business as you are. We'll hear from successful entrepreneurs sharing their long game strategies, and I'm fun, so we're going to have a little fun along the way too. Thanks for being here. Let's get to today's episode. As entrepreneurs, we are plagued by so many good ideas. Add to that many of us are multi-passionate. Add to that many of us are neuro-divergent. It all leads to a jumble of information that we aspire to share. And, there are some multi-passionate entrepreneurs who really do well at clarifying their offers for their different audiences. But I hear more often than not about business owners feeling overwhelmed with their ideas. And worse yet, putting out multiple offers that confuse their audience and tire them out with promotion. One of the things I love most about being a business owner is the ability to do things our own way. We in small business, we're more nimble than those larger entities, and we get to decide what we do, what we offer, and how we do it. But with that power comes great responsibility. That's a nod to my Spider-Man loving friends there. How you set things up dictates the experience that you will have as a business owner. And this is where streamlining your offers comes in. All right, what is streamlining? We know the basic definition of streamlining, which is to make a system or organization more efficient and effective by simplifying or speeding up the methods that we use. And really, streamlining is about flow. It's about working in flow. And, I'm always promoting the value of working in flow. Things are easier and smoother. Obstacles or challenges can be dealt with less friction or disturbance to the whole system. Flow feels good. And when it comes to our offers, streamlining is having them all relate to one area of expertise, or all relate to one service that you provide, or all use the same resources or existing infrastructure. And I want to be really clear here that this isn't pigeonholing us into doing just one thing. I actually do a number of things in my business, but I have set up these offers that allow me to promote myself with a singular message, and that draws people in for my different offers and different price points. The idea of streamlining your offers is about refining your message. We want the messaging you put out there to relate to the various offers that you have. When you're talking about multiple messages, you can confuse your audience. Today, the message is X. Tomorrow, the message is Y. They don't know what to come to you for. Messaging needs to be reinforced all the time. And we know this, right? Like, people need to hear your message multiple times to come into your world and understand what you do. Being focused in what message you talk about will help you bring more people in. And again, it's not to say that we can't have multiple offers. We totally can, but it's how you make them relate. All right, let's get to some examples. I see entrepreneurs every year every 6 months, even with a new program that they are promoting. I'm a fan of going deep. Create that signature offer, that signature brand, and talk about it. And this can be an actual offer or even your personal brand. What you talk about, all of the promotion that you do, it builds upon itself time after time. You get the value of repeating, refining from last time, and analyzing the data. So a well-known example is Marie Forleo's B School. So Marie launched in 2010 with B School. Her signature offer has now grown to multi-million-dollar launches each year, and her name is synonymous with B School, right? So the repetition of her offer year after year into our entrepreneurial circles, the press, the promotion, this is like where Marie is talking about B School and what she does, all builds the name and the ability for her to sell the course each time, year after year. And yes, we get to create offers, name them, test them out, stick with what works and drop what doesn't. But this isn't only about the name here. This is really about your message and your services. All right, so I streamlined my own services this year by creating what is essentially the same service at various price points. So I've got a high touch done for you offer. I've got a mid-range done for you offer, less included than the high touch. I've got a small group strategy program that leads members through the same process as the above done for you offers. And my course, which is coming out, is the entry point and DIY version of what I do and teach in all of the offers above. So this allows me to talk about what I do, digital marketing for courses and memberships, and have multiple offers at different price points that support that message. So I've been able to scale up more in my business by not being all over the place. The people fit into one of these offers, which are essentially the same offer, but at different levels of support. And by doing this, I have streamlined my marketing message and made it easier to promote me as the brand and who can service you in any of these ways. And in addition to scaling my business monetarily, this streamline approach has allowed me to free up my thinking and dive deeper into the space I'm working in. Whenever I do research for a high touch client, I'm banking that knowledge to apply to my small group strategy program. What questions get asked in the small group strategy, that may become part of my messaging for the course. Now I am in a revolving space of knowledge and messaging. All right, let's take another example that we can all relate to. I love staying at boutique hotels, and I recently took myself away for a few days to work on writing and recording for my course. And this is one of those things that, just needs to be done when you work from home with kids and, service clients. I totally carved out this time to work. So who doesn't love seeing what types of bath products are offered during their boutique hotel stay? I love being introduced to and trying out cool niche product lines, things I may never have bought without the tryout. So this is a perfect example of streamlining an offer. Beauty businesses form partnerships and paid relationships with hotels to offer their products. Product businesses, they're not offering anything different. Instead, they are offering the same exact product in another form, travel size, and getting it into the hands of the right audience, those who are going to pay boutique hotel fees. So this method works across price point segments, right? Every hotel offers travel size bath accessories. And these brands, they are doing what they do. And they're creating a secondary revenue market for their businesses. All that has changed is the packaging, much like our offers as business owners. Done for you versus a course is a different package for the information and service that we provide. Streamlining your offers so you don't feel all over the place is a way to start to rein in the overwhelm and scale your business. Now, with streamlining, you are still able to offer a wealth of services and products. It's how you think about your offers and work from the top down in your messaging. All right, so let's take the example of an email marketer. Email marketing would be their top line expertise and messaging. Come to me to hear all about email marketing, from newsletters and automations to calls to action and subject lines. All of these details and these ideas fall under the email marketing umbrella. This person could also talk about email marketing providers and give her favorite recommendations. She could talk about email marketing tech and using Zapier. She could talk about email marketing content. So already we've created a pretty good list of content and messaging topics. For offers, there could be done-for-you services, welcome email sequence writing, launch email sequence writing. Other offers could include courses on email strategy. She could sell email sequence templates or a membership for email marketing that's ongoing. And all of these ideas and offers fall under the same umbrella and allow the entrepreneur to share similar messages with varying calls to action depending on her audience. And, she's always taking email marketing and always promoting that to her clients in one form or another. It's nice and streamlined for her as a business owner. So I mentioned Zapier earlier, and this email expert could even create something specialized on using Zapier with email. And that would still allow her to be in the realm of email marketing, but she would stop at creating a Zapier 101 course. The latter would be taking her on a tangent. In streamlining, you are only bringing other topics that relate to your top line expertise. For her to now talk all about Zapier and what it can do beyond the scope of email marketing pulls her messaging away for the powerful stacking that she has going on if she's sticking to her core expertise. All right, let's go back to the Marie Forleo example. Marie created a second course called The Copy Cure. And this has had a lot of success due mostly to the fact that she's built this large following and it's something that people need. I'm sure the topic of copy was a pervasive one that Marie heard about from her students all the time. Business owners need to write copy for their websites, their content, etc. Marie isn't a copywriter, so she partnered with one, Laura Belgray, to create the course. And this secondary offer, it's still in Marie's realm of servicing business owners, but not necessarily at the heart of what she talks about. And, sure, she uses copy topics in her lessons, but like all of her lessons, she can only go so deep in. And she, may touch upon the importance of copy in her interviews, and it may come up in these conversations, but it's an extra piece that doesn't fall into her main messaging. So to market this course, she needs to speak directly about copy, whereas to market B-School, she's talking about the overall package in starting a business. When I worked in the fashion industry, I was at a licensing company where we had the license for, music artist clothing lines. We did Jay-Z's Rockaware women's line and Eminem's clothing line we launched, back in his heyday. Because of the nature of the business, we had a factory, showroom, sales team, all the infrastructure set up. So it was smart to create additional product lines to sell into the stores, utilizing our existing resources. Although these brands, they each had their own message, the bulk of the heavy lifting is in production, design, logistics, which was all already set up. So as a company, we were able to have multiple lines being sold at once and handle the process. The expertise here is in the infrastructure created, which is why Marie Forleo launched a second course. Her infrastructure was set up for online business. The second course was a streamlined offer to how her business is set up as a whole. And I love that she brought in a true copy expert to partner with her. That helped her on the part that maybe she didn't know everything about. Okay, so what if your expertise lies in multiple areas? Yes, then create your signature course or offer, do that messaging, and create a second course or product and do that messaging. Try and make these offers launch at different times in the year so that the messaging, the different messaging that you are talking about when you're an expert in two areas, that messaging doesn't overlap. You don't want to be talking one day about one thing, the next day about another if you really want to say you're an expert deep in each. You want to have that runway of content before your launch and where you get to speak to each item specifically, without muddying up the message. And like Marie, Most likely these offers that you have in your multi-passionate piece are going to relate to the general overall of your brand messaging. For Marie, her overall message is business development, and then copy came in. And these two definitely have threads that overlap. It's a good point to think about, though, when your business is course oriented. The streaming we have talked about so far is about a variety of offers on one related topic. But what if your multi-passion is in completely different realms? So if you are that email marketing expert and you also love to teach knitting, separate that stuff. Create a secondary website and socials where you market your craft business so you can speak solely to that audience. What's interesting in this instance, though, is the ability to niche down with your email marketing offer. This can be a form of streamlining. Create an email marketing course for knitters specifically. Create an offer for them specifically. This then allows you to pull in both sides of your expertise, email marketing and knitting, and streamline an offer under the email marketing expertise umbrella. So streamlining is really about what relates to your messaging and your expertise overall. Start with one offer and build out what relates, what makes sense, what's a natural progression from there. Streamlining your offers will help you stay in control. You're going to feel sure-footed, and it's going to allow you to dive deeper into your lane of expertise. And streamlining is a smart way to scale because it doesn't divert your attention to something completely different. It's a long game lesson, folks. All right, everyone. That's what I got for you today. Thank you so much for joining me as always, and I'll see you next week. Thanks for joining me today. You can access more info in the show notes at thelonggamepodcast.net. If today's show connected with you in some way, please share it with your friends or hop on iTunes and leave me a review. Until next time, keep playing the long game. This podcast is part of the Sound Advice FM network. Sound Advice FM, women's voices amplified.